Hey guys, George here from the F1 Chronicle, and today on 5 Minutes with, we have...
Zak O'Sullivan. I raced in Formula 2 with ART. I'm happy to be here.
I'm great to have you on the show, Zach. Thank you for making time for this. For those that don't know, this is a show where we spend 5 minutes or so with a motorsports star to ask them some interesting questions. So, for those who aren't aware, Zach recently won his first F2 race in Monaco. So, with that in mind, I wanted to ask, you recently won your first F2 race in Monaco in dramatic and incredible circumstances. At which point did you think that you could win the race? And did you truly believe that a late safety car was going to happen?
Yeah, first answer is the point I thought I could win the race was actually on pit exit when I didn't see any cars behind me nor in front. So that's quite a good sign. And then I thought, it's Monaco. So even with cold tyres and cold brakes, you can normally hold position. So I was quite confident then. And to answer your question about the safety car, no. My engineer was telling me for the last kind of 10 laps, if there's a safety car, we win the race. And I said, okay, that would be lovely, but I doubt it's going to happen. That's kind of perfect scenario. So my objective was just pushing as hard as possible. I'm obviously still fighting for I think P3 or P4 on the road. So I was fighting for a good result, maybe a podium. Of course, the safety car would have been amazing, and luckily it did come, but I wasn't thinking about a safety car.
Were you just praying in the cockpit thinking just like, oh, man, that's incredible. Like, what kind of goes through your head when you hear the words, oh yeah, if a safety car comes out, we'll win the race?
I didn't really believe it, but I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it. Obviously, I didn't know at the time, but I didn't realize I was actually, I think there were a couple of drivers struggling a lot with the tyres, and it was slowing down the kind of P5 backwards, I think, in the race. And yeah, you think that'd be lovely, but I don't think there's going to be a safety car. And of course there was. But that's F2, we're always talking about safety cars and ifs, buts and maybes. But I don't know, luckily it came at the right time.
Yeah, and sort of full advantage, of course, as well. And sort of on that as well, you've taken very little time to adapt to the Formula 2 car in your debut season. Has it been easier than expected to get up to speed with what's been a radically different car? Obviously, the first thing that jumps out is the rear wing. That's the big change. But has it been a surprise to you with how easy it's been to adapt? Because I'm not sure if you're aware, but right now you're currently sat seventh in the drivers' standings.
Yeah, it's been a bit different. Honestly, the car isn't a massive step from F3 in terms of driving, especially on one lap. The corner speeds are actually very similar to F3, if not some tracks a bit lower in the race. We've got a lot more power, a bit more downforce, but the car's a lot heavier. The 18-inch wheels don't really help curb compliance, and in general, the cars are run a bit stiffer. So the cornering speeds aren't too different. The harder thing, I think, is the race management. The brakes are quite hard to manage. There's more overheating. The tyres are more prone to overheating than they are on F3. And in general, you have to manage a bit more in the race and be a bit smarter in the race. There's also the different compounds through the weekend, which we don't have in F3. So it all leads to, I'd say in F2, it's a bit harder to string a proper weekend together as a rookie compared to F3. Normally in F3, if you have a good qualifying, you're guaranteed a good feature race at least, provided nothing goes wrong. Whereas in F2, you can be on pole and still somehow finish out points if you don't manage everything properly during the feature race.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big step up, of course, with that. Yeah, and something as well I want to mention is that, for those that aren't aware, you joined the Williams Driver Academy a few years ago. Can you tell us how that's changed your career so far in terms of the support that they offer you?
It's helped a massive amount. Of course, also from my side, being a British driver in a British academy is quite cool. Yeah, I joined them at the end of 2021 after winning GB3 and the Autosport Award. And yeah, I think it was the kind of first step on my road to F1, if you like. It was my first year of F3. And you don't really believe you're kind of on the way to F1 unless you're in the academy. So it was great to be taken under their wing from such a young age. I think I was 16, turning 17 at the time. And yeah, 3 years later, I feel very embedded within the team, feel very welcomed. Of course, I've done some F1 running with them as well. So I'm starting to get to know all the faces and spending a lot more time at Grove.
Yeah, 16 years old. I was finishing my GCSEs, as I imagine you probably were as well. But yeah, no... Well, thanks for joining us, Zach. Great answers there, great talking, and best of luck for the rest of the F2 season.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Who do you want to see on the show next? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to the F1 Chronicle to see more content just like this.